After a closely contested bout on July 12th, Imam Khataev's promoter has word to David Morrell and his camp, let's rematch, because they feel that they were wronged in the decision department for the outcome of the fight in which Morrell suffered a knockdown. Let's talk about it. According to an article in Ring magazine authored by Anson Wainwright, Imam Khataev's promoter is interested in facing David Morrell in a rematch. They feel that the split decision that allowed Morrell the victory was a contentious effort to keep him in the graces of being in contention for another title shot. However, they feel that they deserve the victory. One way to set the record straight would be to have an immediate rematch. The article maintains the televised portion kicked off with a memorable light heavyweight contest that saw the underdog, Imam Khataev, whose record of 10-1 now with 9 KOs, became the first to knock down Morrell, whose record now is 12-1 with 9 KOs, and gave the talented Cuban fits throughout their 10-round bout. That is very true, for Morrell seemed to find it more amusing to engage in playing to the crowd and showboating than focusing in on the intensity that may have been required to defeat Khataev in a more serious manner. At the conclusion, Judge Tony Lundy sided with Khataev 95-94, but it was outvoted by John McHale 96-93 and Alan Nace 95-94. The results left many surprised, including on-air commentators Antonio Tarver, Sergio Mora, and the Ring's Mike Carpenter, all of whom scored the fight for Khataev. As a personal note, I scored it for Khataev myself, especially with the knockdown, but there were a lot of instances where Morrell seemed to, again, showboat, looking to shimmer and shake and dance instead of throwing punches and letting his hands go. And even when he did throw his shots, he was able to land solidly against Khataev, but just seemingly when a combination punch, the last punch, maybe off of a 3 or 4 punch combination would land, Morrell would not follow up with the hopes of finishing. He seemed to only be pleased with scoring the shots instead of trying to win the fight. It was an amazing show and great performance, and let's do it again, he said. We would like a rematch. This is Khataev's manager and promoter. If I put myself in Morrell's shoes, it would be a matter of honor to fight again because everyone is saying that he lost the fight and got a Christmas present from Santa Claus in July. If I was in their shoes, I would want to fix that. The former WBC junior middleweight titleist Morrell felt Khataev was unlucky not to have preserved his unbeaten record. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a controversial or even a robbery, but I believe the judges got it wrong. Khataev came with an excellent game plan, timing and punching in between Morrell's shots. The fight at worst should have been a draw at the very least. Yes, Morrell adjusted and won the second half of the fight, but you can make a case Khataev won all of the first 5 rounds, including a knockdown. In a 10-round fight, yes, I believe Khataev deserved the decision. Hall of Fame boxing analyst Al Bernstein went one step further as he took to X, which is formerly Twitter. "I have reached the only sane conclusion you can on that fight, that Khataev won certainly 6 rounds of the fight and more than likely 7 rounds of the fight, and when you add in the knockdown he had in round 5, there is no conceivable way on this planet to score the fight for David Morrell. However, the 3 judges, who should be ashamed of themselves for the rest of their lives for the scoring, all got it wrong. The most egregious, of course, was John McHale, who scored it 96-93 for Morrell, which means he gave Morrell 7 of the 10 rounds, which is an impossibility. Alan Nance had it 95-94 for Morrell, giving him 6 rounds, also impossible. And even Tony Lundy, who scored at 95-94 for Khataev, had it all wrong. He gave 5 rounds to Khataev. Bernstein, who said he had watched the fight twice, went on and pulled no punches. "You have to be either blind or biased to give the fight to David Morrell, period. End of sentence," said the veteran Showtime analyst. Personally, this has been going on not just with this fight. I've assessed that something needs to be done about these judges, and they need to be held accountable, and they should be able to have and post interviews where they would have to explain their actions. To be able to not stand up and be accountable for what you did is improper. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, the third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about a possible rematch. Would you like to see it? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.